In this video, we're going to talk about right hand technique for the classical guitar, and what I really want to do for you guys in this video is just try to make it as simple as possible. There are tons of videos of people out there they're great videos, but they get super technical about the right hand, which is totally fine. But for this one, I just want to try to simplify it as much as possible because that's what I like to do. So when it comes to classical guitar technique, the right hand is usually where people have problems, and it's usually a pain point when it comes to progressing and kind of getting to the next level with classical guitar. So the first thing I want to briefly discuss is your arm position. Now, when it comes to right hand position, this can be not controversial, but people just have different opinions about it, okay? And we could do a whole separate video on your right hand position, or your right arm position. But basically, there are kind of two schools of thought, okay? You have one, which is the old school kind of approach, where you have what we call the bent wrist position. Usually your bicep kind of rests on the guitar like this, and you can play, right? That's how Segovia did it. That's how a lot of old school players did it, and they played beautifully and fantastically. Some people, though, however, maybe disagree with that, and they say you should have, a straight wrist for very different reasons, okay? What I would say is do what feels most comfortable for now, okay? I can't see I can't see exactly how your wrist is, because if I could, then I would make adjustments accordingly. But I like to have a happy medium, okay? Where I'm not full bicep position, but basically, right where your elbow is, I'm just about a few inches behind that, or in front of that, sorry, where I rest my guitar, or I rest my arm on the guitar, okay? The goal here is just to make it relaxed and comfortable, okay? When this arm is resting here, it's not all tweaked up, it's not all stiff, okay? It's just relaxed, okay? We're gonna bring the guitar to you, you're gonna rest your arm on it, that's it, okay? Sometimes when people first get a guitar in their lap, they freak out and they get all tense and they get all weird. You don't have to do that, okay? You're just gonna bring the guitar to you and you're gonna rest your arm on it just like that, okay? I like to have a happy medium. I don't keep my wrist perfectly straight, and I don't keep it like super bent. I just relax it, okay? Because for me, that's the most comfortable. So I have what I like to call relaxed wrist position, okay? That's it for the position. Now let's talk about the right hand mechanics, okay? At its most simple form, the movement that you make is just the movement that you make when you make a fist, okay? It's the movement that you make when you pick something up, when you grab something, when you're holding a drink, essentially. When you're holding a drink, or you're holding, let's say like a baseball or something, that is kind of your default position, and I'm gonna change the angle so you can see that better here. Also, I wanna mention, if you haven't seen my video about how to play rest stroke and free stroke, where I do get a little bit more technical, go check out that video. So the first thing you wanna recognize is that your fingers have three joints. We have what's called the large knuckle joint here, you have the middle joint here, and the tip joint here, okay? And you bend all those fingers when you make that fist motion, right? Which is the most natural way that your hand moves. For your thumb, the large knuckle joint is actually way back here. It's this big one here. This is your middle joint, which sometimes people mistake as the large knuckle joint, but this is the middle one, and then your tip one is here, okay? So it's just like the motion you make when you pick something up. It's super natural, and your hand always follows through, okay? Think of it like a basketball player when they shoot the ball, right? They shoot and their hand always follows through, right? They don't shoot it and their hand stays back like this, right? Or if you think about, when you throw a baseball, right? You throw and your arm follows through. If you swing a golf club, right? You swing it and you follow through like that. It would be weird if you only swung it and stopped, right? And what's the purpose of following through? When you follow through, you get way more power, number one, and at the end of that follow through, you relax, okay? Two very important things. So with the follow through, you get power, and you also get the relaxation, which is pretty much all you need, right? Once you have that, you're pretty much ready to rock and roll. So let me show you up close what that looks like. So let's start with a free stroke here. What I'm gonna do is just rest my thumb on the sixth string for support, and let's take our index finger and let's play the third string, okay? I'm just gonna take that and stroke the string, and it's gonna follow through into the palm of my hand, okay? Now yes, I'm bending all the joints, but the motion is originating from the large knuckle joint, okay? Now if we get a little bit more technical, generally when you play a free stroke, you want this large knuckle joint to be directly over the string that you're playing, okay? So I would just say, take a second and try to play some free strokes with your index finger and just get a feel for that. Ask yourself, am I following through? Is my finger going into the palm of my hand? Or am I making what's a really common mistake is what people tend to, they stroke outwards like this, where they more so pluck the string, right, versus stroking it. So make sure your fingers aren't moving up and out like this, because that's a less natural movement. The reason people do this is because you might find that when you stroke the string, you accidentally swipe one of the ones behind it, right? All that means is that your knuckles are behind the string that you're playing. And so if you just make this slight adjustment, just like I said, like you're kind of holding a ball and making sure that your knuckles over the string, you shouldn't have that problem, okay? Let's try some with the M finger now, okay? So with your middle finger, let's try it on the second string. And make sure that after each stroke, you relax it, okay? So you have like this little bit of tension, and then you release it. And then let's try with your A finger, your ring finger on the first string. And then lastly, let's try some with our thumb. Your thumb kind of makes this almost like a circle motion, and it goes around like that. Okay? Now here's an exercise that you can practice if you want to kind of incorporate all the fingers. So that's just going to go thumb, index, middle, ring, and then we're going to go back down to your middle, and then your index finger, and back to your thumb. And that just loops itself as many times as you want. Sometimes when I pick up my guitar in the morning, that is the first thing that I'll play is just some simple arpeggios just to kind of get my fingers warmed up and just kind of feel how my nails gliding off the string, and maybe I'll file my nails if I want to change that. But just to simplify it, that is the basics of the right hand technique, okay? It's simply just this motion, okay? To play the guitar is just this, okay? You're moving from the large knuckle joints, you're making this fist motion, which is a natural motion that you make every day. You don't even have to think about it. In fact, sometimes I get students that really almost overanalyze everything that they're doing, and I think in some ways it can slow you down. There's nothing wrong though with wanting to understand the mechanics of it. That's a good thing. But if you're having trouble with making it feel natural, I would say just try not to overthink it. Pick something up and just realize that you don't think about it when that happens, right? If someone threw a ball at you and you just caught it, you don't think about it, right? You just kind of react. And so it's the same with guitar, okay? Our goal is to make it as natural as possible. And like I said, if you want to get more technical, check out my video where I talk about rest stroke and free stroke and the right hand mechanics. And I hope this video helped you guys kind of just understand the basic fundamentals of your right hand technique. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.